Hey everybody, it's Janelle from Blue Skies. I'm here today with Stefan Silva, who is one of our favorite CPAs in the world to work with. Stefan and I have been chatting a little bit lately, and I had a couple questions for him, and I just wanted to get the answers and share those with you. So, hi Stefan.
Hey, Janelle.
You
Thanks for having
survived
me.
tax season?
Yes, we survived tax season, and in a certain sense, we're still helping clients, just making sure they're minimizing those taxes year round.
Yeah, and there's always people
Mhm.
with extensions and stories that are ongoing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, just want to make sure those stories end up being positive at the end of the day, and that's
That's a good way to say
yeah,
it. That's so
yeah.
good. Well, so kind of on that note, we had some clients who got
hmm
there's a couple surprises that you never want. The first one is if you're a parent, there's a sound of puke happening in the middle of the night. Nothing gets you out of your bed faster than that.
Uh-huh.
But another terrible surprise is a tax bill, right? Like,
Mhm.
especially if you haven't had a tax liability in the past.
Sure.
Um, and every year, I feel like we have a couple clients whose business either has rapid growth or
hmm
something changes. And all of a sudden, whether it's a personal, someone leaves a job, because there's a lot in a business owner. It's not just the business, but if they're married, their spouse and your family situation, all of that comes together for what your tax liability is. So for our clients who had that surprise, that terrible, hey, instead of getting some money back, we'd
hmm
like a check, please.
Sure.
Um, what do you think? What can they do to not have that happen again?
This is actually a common question and common concern. The first thing I would say is, while I don't advise people feeling this way and feeling the worry and everything, it's probably fresh enough to where it'll actually lead you to come up with a solution, right? So we
Yeah.
are all about the solutions right now. You should be as proactive as possible. I know many people always come along and say, hey, I was expecting a little bit more out of my prior CPA. It seems like we always come down to the wire and we don't have any solutions. And then that's when I typically say, well, everyone's modeled differently. And one of the models that we go after is trying to create that year-round value for our clients. So we do offer tax planning packages, and it's early enough in the year to where we can actually explore options, right? Because it's not really a one size fits all standard package. Everyone has unique situations on an individual level, investment level, or on a company level. All these different tax situations that are happening. So we want to be able to get in early enough to where we have those options instead of waiting right right down to year end and just trying to find solutions that are gone at that point.
And there are certain things in life that get a bad rap, like
Mhm,
going to the dentist for a checkup.
mhm,
I hate
Sure.
it, but every time I go, I feel good. It's never that bad.
Mhm.
So say I have my bookkeeping done at Blue Skies, where it's awesome, and I have a P&L and a balance sheet. What else do I need to bring you
Sure,
if I
sure.
want
I
to come
mean,
to the planning meeting?
well, typically we figure that out in our first session. Yes,
Yep.
the books are definitely a good overview. We definitely want to get a good tax history of everything, any sorts of documents that you received in prior years that would kind of give us a better sense of what's happening outside of those business financials and anything that's happening more on the personal end. And a lot of our clients usually have these flow through entities to where their personal situation is really the one that's being impacted at the end of the day. So everything kind of gets all lumped in together. So anything and everything really.
Yes, I'm just going to bring you my pile of stuff and we'll look at it together, but I don't need to
Yeah,
be stressed about it.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
That's
Um,
mhm.
and what about S-Corps? Can we talk about that? Because I think there's a deadline. Is that March 15th and it's already gone? Can I still do the S-Corp thing?
Yes, yes. And the way I put this is that there are a couple of hurdles that you go through, things that you should be doing during the year. And that's the sort of conversation that we have during these tax planning sessions. Our company, our firm has actually been successful in being able to get some of these S Corp applications retroactively applied. So you might think that that's like a foregone conclusion, not being able to get that S-Corp status, but we can see about actually getting you on that if it's the appropriate situation for you.
So it's not like that cruise ship that recently left Africa without the people on it. If the boat's gone, the boat can come back possibly.
Yes, I mean, there are implications around it, and you
Sure.
just want to make sure that everything's aligned. And of course, you don't want to figure that out by yourself. You want a CPA by your side.
Yeah, for sure. And I think I feel like clients come to us and say, my CPA said they were going to file this. It didn't happen for whatever reason. And now I'm just stuck. So I don't know if this is not well known or if it's something CPAs don't like to do, but I love that you offer the option to at least look at it and explore if it can still be done, even if it's late and there's some penalty around that. What if I'm already an S-Corp? Is there another reason that I would just want to take time to meet with you if I feel like my ducks are in the row already?
Well, definitely. So as far as S-Corps go, it's different than being like a Schedule C business. You actually have requirements set by the IRS. One of those major requirements have to do with the ownership and making sure that they have reasonable compensation. And we actually have a newsletter that you can feel free to share with Blue Skies clients, which actually details out some of the stories out there on the different penalties that owners end up incurring because they were not properly advised as to what their compensation levels would be, this is one of the major areas of concern. Usually you have clients who end up just coming up with arbitrary numbers, or their CPAs coming up with arbitrary numbers. We actually provide a full-on report that helps you feel confident going into the tax season, or in the worst case, any sort of IRS audit. You have the sort of support that.
Oh, you said it. You went and said the audit word.
Exactly, yeah. So that's definitely a good reason to come speak with us. And that is the sort of thing, at least on an annual basis, you should be checking, among some other things, as far as S-Corp compliance goes. And as far as tax savings go, too. There are opportunities unique to S-Corps.
Yeah, that sounds good. Our clients work darn hard for their money. I want them to hold as much of it as they can. I didn't tell you that I wanted to talk to you about this, so I'm just going to throw it out there.
Right.
I get a fair amount of people who come to us and they are embarrassed because perhaps they haven't filed taxes. Maybe they didn't file 2023. Maybe they didn't file 2022. Maybe they didn't file 21. Maybe they owe some back taxes and they need some help figuring out if they can negotiate it, or, it's a little bit embarrassing sometimes for them and it's a weight on their shoulders. What are your thoughts when those clients come to you?
I mean, we are all for figuring out solutions, and it wouldn't be something that isn't a common occurrence. Actually, we've had more than our fair share of clients who have found themselves in these sorts of situations. And I can't say, once again, one size fits all sort of scenario. I mean, there are things that you can do with the IRS, depending how bad it is, how far back it goes. And I mean, there can be varying solutions. We can always try and explore and see, what the IRS has some programs out there, depending on how far out, like I said before, you owe in back taxes. And sometimes when you can come to the IRS, just making sure that that you kind of messed up and you are seeking resolution. There are options out there. So that I would definitely recommend having a consult with us and figuring out what best suits your particular situation.
Yeah, and I just personally, it's been great to work with you on a few of those clients because you can tell, it's a mental load and it doesn't feel good. And then if you are embarrassed or feel judged about it, I don't feel that way. I get it. Life gets away from you.
Sure.
People have things in their personal life or whatever. So if that's you, don't be scared to come to Blue Skies for bookkeeping. Stefan would love to help you out on the tax side. We've got you covered.
Yeah, definitely. And it's definitely been nice because Blue Skies, you are definitely a good partner in this respect, and just being able to make sure that we're doing the best that we can for our clients.
I know. It's so fun to work with you. Thanks for being a part of our team over here.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's been a pleasure.
All right. Thanks.
You're welcome.
How do I end recording? There we go.